How about we answer some questionnaires? Let's get it. So guys, it's been a while, man. It's been a while because this is, I told you guys, I'm be fit for the World Cup. So I'm only one guy, so I know, like, for guys who've been old school guys of the channel, we always used to have our Q&As on Friday, but as the channel expands and things go through, I always have to make changes. I'm constantly making changes, but I want to bring back the whole Q&A because I just feel that, I want to have a chance because we're a family. We're a family. We're a community. Even if I hate some of you people's guts, it is what it is. We have a love and hate relationship. I hate you based on your bum-ass views of Messi and Cristiano, when those guys can't sniff your boy R9 and your boy Maradona. But we come together because of our love for this great game of football, and I want to have a chance to be able to answer people's questions and queries who are not able to be on Twitter, Instagram, and so forth. So that's why I just say always send in your emails to this place here. Oh, where is it? Where is it in here? To the website. Remember, website halfoffootballhot.com. And things are, as the season starts, things will be popping off, especially the Brick Academy, and the rankings will be popping off. And remember, use this icon here just to send you a message. You click there, send in your email, and I will do my best to respond. And I always say that the best way to reach me for any questions is via email, because loads of people DM me on Twitter and Instagram. I hardly really respond. I try to, but I hardly really respond to Twitter and Instagram. But what I always check are my emails. I will always check my emails. So the best way to contact the Football Hot, your boy HH, is via that email snackini. So guys, without further ado, I picked out the best questions that I thought I could answer, because people send in loads of really good questions, and I'll maybe answer a few more afterwards. And this will now come back to a weekly thing. So let's get it. So HH, would you take Victor Osimhen at Chelsea? Here's the thing about Victor Osimhen. See, I've tried to call off the Super Eagles and Nigeria because of the trash that those guys pulled. Like, for me, I told you, I have unfollowed everything to do with the Super Eagles on Instagram and so forth, because I am still reeling from that World Cup qualification thing. And I think it will only truly hit home when the World Cup starts and I see Ghana playing there, and I'm like, okay, oh wow, you losers. But putting that to one side, I think Osimhen is still raw. He still needs to develop his game, and he still needs to get better. But put it this way, Chelsea need a striker. There are better options out there. But if we're coming up towards the end of the transfer window, and Osimhen is the only guy that you could get, I would consider it. I still feel there are better strikers and better frontmen out there. There are better attackers. Like that's Samaka dude who just went. I'm like, oh, that could have been an interesting dude. Nkunku could have been interesting. Because I just still feel like if Osimhen, there's a really good striker there, but he needs to develop his game. So this is the question. The question is that does Tuchel believe he can improve his game? If Tuchel does not believe he can improve his game, there's no point in getting Osimhen, because that is a player who still needs his game needs to develop. So Chelsea won't be getting a ready-made, already finished player. They will be getting a guy who still needs a little bit of refining, and that is what my fear is that how much refining will your boys need in a Victor Osimhen? That's really the question that I have there, man. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, So would I take him? Not at the moment. Not at the moment, because Chelsea don't need a developing striker. That's why I don't want that Broha guy in there. Chelsea need a striker who is the finished article, not someone that needs to develop it, because this is a very crucial season for your boys Chelsea. But I think Osimhen can definitely become an amazing striker, but there's a lot of his game, because I've seen his game, both for Napoli and for Nigeria. There's a lot of his game, ball control, decision-making, focus on the ball, and his control. That's the ball control is a very important thing in football. Very important thing. We've seen this with your boy Haaland and Nunes. That first touch is very key, because a first touch is the difference between losing possession or putting yourself in a goal-scoring situation. That's how important a first touch is, and those are different things that he needs to improve in his game for sure. And I think if he does, the guy can be an amazing striker. From Mike, the true GOAT analyst from Finland, what's made you fall in love with football? A particular game or player or moment? Keep up the great content. Good question. It's a complicated one. So, Nigeria. I'm a young kid, and Nigeria were going through some issues in the 90s, political issues and so forth and everything. So, the mood was down. When Nigeria qualified for that World Cup, I believe we beat Ivory Coast on penalty set, something like that. But when we qualified for our first World Cup, it was the first time the entire country, despite all the issues, came together. And I was like, wow, look at all the issues we're having in this country, and the fact that this thing called football can bring everyone together at once. This must be special. So watching that 94 World Cup and watching Rush, tell the moment it was. Nigeria against Bulgaria. And Rashidi Yekini scoring that penalty. When you saw him score the penalty, scoring the goal, not a penalty, when he scored Nigeria's first ever goal. When you just saw his passion and how much that goal meant, I was hooked. I was like, no, there is something special. There is something truly special about this sport. There is something truly otherworldly about this sport. And I was like, what is it about this thing of just putting this ball inside this fishnet that can consume an entire nation? Because literally, the entire country of hundreds of millions of people were hooked onto Nigeria's every single game, especially for that Nigeria-Bulgaria game. So it was that game. So it was qualifying for the World Cup, what that meant for the country, and how that brought the country together, and also Rashidi Yekini and his passion scoring that goal against Bulgaria. That was like, no. This for me, this sport and me were together. This is something that is beyond just a sport. This is something very special and unique, which is why it's what my big brothers always say to me. A World Cup isn't just about playing a sport. A World Cup is about showing your country. It's about putting your best foot forward. Why do people know about Brazil? Because of their full football teams, because of Pele. Why do people know about Argentina? Because of the freaking full football team, So just as Nigeria are trash now, but during the 90s and so forth, people knew about Nigeria because of the football team. White guys used to wear Super Eagles jerseys, not because it looked good, because they loved watching Okocha or Ipeba or Amokachi or Amunike or any of these guys or Kano Wankwo. So just don't get me started on these guys, man. From Jabari, predict the top goal scorer and assist provider in La Liga and the Prem. Interesting. Top goal scorer in La Liga. It won't be Lewandowski. It won't be Lewandowski. Top goal scorer in La Liga. I'm going to go with Benzema. I think Benzema will return and be the top scorer. It won't be Lewandowski. It's going to be a great comparison between both, but put your money down. It won't be Lewandowski. I believe the top goal scorer in La Liga will be Benzema. I believe it will be Benzema. It will be Benzema. Assist provider, bro. If he stays fit, it's going to be Dembele. Dembele had the most assists being injured for half of the season. So if this guy stays fit for the full season, it'll be Dembele. For sure, like 100%, it'll be Dembele will be the top assist provider. Premier League, top scorer. Woo! This is a tough one. It wouldn't be Haaland. I think it's going to be a battle between three names, and I think you know those names. So if Cristiano stays, between Cristiano, Salah, and Kane, I think Kane is going to be up in there. Salah. I think, given the fact that Mane won't be there, so he won't feel guilty for not having to give it to him. And I just think with the whole new contract and everything, I believe Salah will take greater agency, and I think Salah will be top scorer. Top assist provider, but I think I'm rolling with Trent. I'm rolling with Trent. I especially with Nunes, bro. Trent was the top assist guy without a national number 9. So imagine the amount of times Trent is going to be able to ping that ball into the box, and you have a guy who is good in the air, in Darwin Nunes in there, whether it's from free kicks, from corner kicks, bro, he's going to eat. Trent is going to eat. So yeah, Trent is going to be assist provider there. Thank you for that question, bro. From AD744, what is the best title race of all time in your opinion? It's a really good question. I told you about this in the email. It was a really good question. Now, I can't remember what year it was. There was one year, and I think it was the early 2000s, and it was like involving Juventus. Something weird happened. I think they were playing in Perugia. You know something weird that happened in the game where Juve was supposed to win, but their last game got delayed because of something. Then when they restarted, they then lost, and there was all this drama. But you have to say, bro, it has to be City and Liverpool. That's the 18-19 season. 97-90, like that's the reason why that was so crazy was because it's like, bro, the level of consistency here is insane. Is insane. Like it was, so that's for me because again, correct me if I'm wrong. Has there ever been a higher points total of a first and second place side than what City and Liverpool did with 98 and 97 points? Let me know. Let me know. Because maybe there was or something. Maybe when I think didn't Real get like 100 points and how much did Barca get? But that was crazy. Another good one. You see, the La Liga ones. I think 2014 with Atletico, that was pretty good. And that was pretty good because I think all three of them were all in it. I think in that 13-14 season, all three teams were in it. So Atletico could win, Barca could win. I think even Real could win. So that was a really good one. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in the 13-14 season, all three teams were in there. I remember there was one in the late 90s when Inter almost won. And I think they screwed up on the last day. And then you saw like Ronaldo pretty much crying on the bench because they only just messed up. Another pretty good one was Leicester City. I think because of the fairy tale storyline and because Arsenal were almost there, then Tottenham were almost there, and then Leicester just said what's up. So that was a really good one as well. But if I had to say, bro, yeah, man, I think it's that one because they were really just going at it. City and Liverpool, they were really going at it. So I think it's that season. So I think it's between that season or the 13-14 when Atleti, Real, and Barca were all in there. Because why that was so crazy was because, bro, people were like, no, like for this decade it's going to be ruled by Barca or Atleti. But the fact not about Barca or Real, the fact that Atleti said what's up and sort of just like cut through. That was interesting. Am I missing any other ones? Like, obviously, the Aguero, that was just an amazing ending. But I think it was a great title race. Another good one, some of you kids may remember, mid-ish 90s, Newcastle and United. Where Newcastle I think they had like a double-figure lead, like about halfway through the season. United chopped it away, and then they eventually won. So that was a crazy one based on just how far ahead Newcastle was, man. So... actually, no, this last one in the EPL was interesting as well with how Liverpool cut it away as well. So, yeah. From Evans. Hi, I know you, Evans. I'm a PSG fan, and the new coach Galtier tries to set up a new formation, which is a 3-4-1-2. It's like a 3-5-2. Do you think with a system with three at the back, the midfield pivot systematically needs one a DM and one CM? Could two central midfielders like Iniesta, Xavi pivots work in a system with a back three? And if you have a world-class back three and a world-class left and right back, do you put two central midfielders or one or two DMs? What profile of player will you put for a midfield pivot in a back three system? 3-4-1-2 preferably. Thanks. So it's quite intense. And my thing is this is that you have to look at how good is that back three, and how secure do you want them to be. And I think it's just about your philosophy. So for PSG, I just feel that here's my thing. I do believe that you go with a DM and a CM rather than a double pivot, because I think for PSG, what you want is full-on security. You know that when that ball goes up to that attack, you're good. So you know that once that ball just gets up there, you're good. But what you want is full-on security. So thou shalt not pass. So not only do you know that you can score against anybody, but you don't want anyone to score against you. So you want even extra security. So even if you've got three amazing defenders, because these CL games is such a small margin of error, I would put in an extra to security and get a DM in there. Now, you ain't going to get him. Don't you dare get him. But if you pulled up with an N'Golo Kante, Kante in front of that's PSG back three, you're good. I mean, you're good. And also, Kante is a guy who, he doesn't sit. He can go up and down and even help to connect with the attack of Eminem. So he says, so if you have a world-class left and right back, do you put two central midfielders or one or two DMs? I would want to put two DMs. But when you say a world left and right back, in what sense? In a defensive sense or an offensive sense? If it's in an offensive sense, you put two DMs, so you know that they can now split and cover that space in the width if those guys get exposed when they go high. Now, if these are amazing defensive left and right backs, then you may want to get two quality central midfielders, so you know that these guys, they've got that space all well and good. They'll never expose that space as well. And those two CMs can now offer a lot more cheddar going through centrally. So if you have cheddar going in wide, you need to have guys to cover up the spaces in the width. If you don't really have the cheddar wide in an offensive sense, that's when you need those two CMs now trying to offer a little bit much more creativity through the central to help to now connect the Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe in there, man. So it'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting, But I think beyond that, it's about how well does he cope with the different kinds of personalities. How does he cope with the personalities in that team, man? So, oh wow, this is a long one. So from Blake Hernandez, HH, do you agree with my point of view about how the Premier League's popularity is dangerous for football in the past 2 decades, due to the fact the English media lies about other European elites because they have more pull than the Premier League, or they talk unpleasantly about world-class talents in our generation due to the fact they never played in the Premier League? And the English media also lie about how physical their league is. For example, they say Neymar won't cut it, but that is false because he's South American. Because South America, La Liga, and Uber Eats are more physical. It is just Neymar's mentality. Also, they say they have the best quality or best league in general. But in my opinion, La Liga is better because they have a better finals record in European competitions. So, I think the Premier League is just popular but not high quality, and that could be dangerous due to the media and fans protect the league. The Premier League is just popular due to how they present it around the world, and they're speaking English in the league, which is mostly so basically they speak English, and English is obviously the language that is mostly spoken and understood around the world. They gain so much income to just buy quality throughout other leagues that they don't produce talent on their own. Thank you, H. Sorry for it being a long email. No, that's fine. Great content. Quick question: when will Raul, Jules, Ski, and Delict make their debuts for Chelsea? F you, man. See, here's my thinking. Like, it goes back to the whole league thing here. Look, every league has their strengths. I think the Premier League strengths is the managers. They have the best group of managers in the world in their league. I think the fans are amazing. The narratives that you have between the fan bases and so forth are amazing. And because English is sort of the neutral language, it's very easy for the guys to come in and be part of the conversation with the fan content and so forth. So there's a lot of excitement and entertainment in the Premier League. It is very exciting. The quality of football just ain't great. And not everything can have everything. So EPL has the popularity, it has the managers, it has the excitement, it has the narratives. But I feel quality of football goes to La Liga. Young talent, and I just think more entertaining games, you will ride with a Bundesliga. I think more open-ended games. And I think Serie is still very tactical. I just think when you just want to know the tactical side of the game, Serie still says, what's up? So everybody wants to say they're the best. So the Premier League will always use whatever that's in their power to try and promote them being the best league for whatever reason, because everybody has their agenda. So because you are like part of the Premier League, or let's say the work that you do is connected with the Premier League being profitable or it's being popular, you will say things or put things out there that says, oh no, the Premier League is the best. You need to come and prove yourself in the Premier League. And the reality is, this is what I would say. The best players in the world. Think of the best players of all time. Maradona, Ronaldo, R9, Dino, Zidane, Messi, Neymar. Some of what people consider some of the greatest players of all time. I'll throw in Lam. You throw in Dani Alves. None of these guys played in the Premier League. So if some of the best players in the world, who are considered some of the greatest players in the world, never played in the Premier League, what does that tell you? Now, does anyone say, nah, Maradona ain't great, he never played in the EPL? Or Messi's overrated, he never played in the... Who says that Messi ain't that great because he never played in the Premier League? That Messi isn't one of the most talented players of all time because he never played in the Premier League? Who the hell says that? Well, who says Neymar ain't that great? He ain't one of the most talented football players naturally in the world that we've seen ever, because he never played in the Premier League. No one says that. So that notion that you need to prove yourself in the Premier League is bogus. And why that's bogus is because who has won the most European competitions? So when these teams go up against each other, either in the UCL or in the UEFA Cup or Europa League, more times than not, the Spanish teams win. So if you really want to prove yourself, you have to prove yourself in Spain, And if you're leaving a Real or a Barca, you go down. You don't go up. If you go from a Real or Barca to, let's say, a United, Chelsea, a Arsenal, a Liverpool, a Bayern, a Juve, that's not an upward trajectory. It might be this way. Sometimes it might be downwards. So, like for me, every league has their thing, and I just feel that everybody will always put forth the agenda because this is the tribe they're protecting. So if I'm protecting this tribe that I'm with, I'm always going to ride with these guys and say whatever I need to say to try and prove that this tribe that I'm with is the best. So it is what it is. From AJ. Yo, HH, I got 3 questions for you. Okay. It's cheating, but it is. How do you predict Haaland will fit into Pep's style of play? I personally think it's the missing piece Man City need. HH, I know you're a complicated Chelsea fan, but I think you guys aren't making top 4. That's the harsh reality. So the question is, who is needed for you guys to challenge for the league? Do you think Barca have a good chance to win the Champions League and La Liga? I 100% think so. So what do you think? By the way, Neymar next season is ready to finna prove you wrong. Keep making content. Very soon, mark my words, half of you will reach all your YouTube goals. Keep up the good work. HHZag 2023. Let him just be fit for the World Cup ban. So what am I saying here, man? So that's the first one. How do you predict Haaland will fit into Pep's style of play? You see, I do, in a sense, you could argue that he's the missing piece because it's like, oh my gosh, we just need a guy to put away those chances that we couldn't put away against a Real Madrid, and maybe Haaland is the guy that can pull those chances away. So, but that's in one sense. But in the other sense is that I'm not sure how well he fits into how Pep wants to play and how the team wants to play, because I feel that Alvarez fits much more better into what they want to do. So it is a missing piece from a goal scoring point of view, but I'm not sure it's a missing piece in a more tactical, strategic point of view in terms of how City strategically build their attacks, which is very pass-orientated. And if it's very pass-orientated, you need a first touch, which Haaland clearly doesn't have. So let's make sure that. But if he scores those goals, specifically those goals in UCL, he's a missing piece. The Who do Chelsea need in order to challenge for the league? They need a striker. That's the first thing. They need a striker, and I would have liked to do Dybala because I don't think there are many creative players in this team. So it's just that a lot of strikers are spoken for. I mean, I'd have liked to see Vlahovic. I'd have liked to see Vlahovic, see what Vlahovic could do. This Shamaka kid people are talking about, I think he seems all right. But I think the first thing to do is you need to get rid of Timo Werner. That's the first thing. Get rid of Timo Werner and bring in a good quality natural striker that fits into this team. Lukaku, which Sean said before, doesn't fit into this team. But they need a striker, So even if the ones already spoken for, you scout and you look and to see, okay, which of these guys can work best with Sterling, Havertz, or Mount in that attack, or a Pulisic man. And I think if Reece James Chilwell can be kept fit, get a number 10, I think Chelsea can maybe start to do something. I think for me, Chelsea has. I think Chelsea like 4-3-3, play those three in midfield. You have Kante, Kovacic, and you have a number 10. I think that's how they have to roll. You see, for me, I'm not a fan of the back three now. I'm not a fan of the back three. I think you need those three in midfield. Keep it as a back four, flat back four, three in the midfield, three in attack, 4-3-3, which is what Serie wanted to freaking do. Do you think Barca have a good chance to win the Champions League and La Liga? I 100% think so. What do you think? No, they don't have any chance. They have a very small chance of winning the Champions League. The Champions League is very hard. And I think that even if Barca have a lot of amazing players, Xavi is still a rookie. So if Barca pulled up to a Chelsea with Tuchel, City with Pep, Liverpool with Klopp, Real with Ancelotti, Galtier with PSG, I don't think they beat those guys. I don't think they do. Hence why I think quarters minimum, I think is that's a good thing for them for Xavi to aim for, because for me, don't just look at the players and the personnel, you have to look at the manager. When Luis Enrique came in and took over from Emerson, he had a few years with Roma. May not have been great, but he still had good experience with Roma. Xavi got his medals in the desert. That's why we call him Xavi Atreides, because he's related to that dude from Dune. So expecting a Champions League because of Lewandowski, Rafinha, Koundé, no, that's too crazy. La Liga, yes, 1,000%. I think they are the favorites, and I expect them to win La Liga because Xavi has shown, albeit it wasn't without Benzema, that they beat Real Madrid handsomely well at the Bernabeu, and he came in and they looked great in the running that they had. So with the players they have, I expect them to win the league. And I think that it would be somewhat of a failure if with the personnel that they got this transfer and the squad they already have, Xavi does not lead them to La Liga. So I expect them to be able to do that stuff, man. And we look with Neymar, let's see what he does, man. I mean, I still feel Neymar is half checked out of football, and his main aim is the UCL. That's what I believe. I believe his main name is UCL, and after that he'll be checked out. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, man. Maybe I'm wrong. So guys, man, that's what's cool. So remember again, to be part of this whole cool thing, send in any questions you want. Use the email function. We'll do this again next Sunday. Next Sunday we'll do this again. So if you want any questions, so asking for the Q&A, or maybe do a reminder during the week, send them via the email icon here from the official website, halfoffootball.com. Or if you have any general questions about memberships, content, or so forth, go to the website, halfoffootball.com, use the message icon, and I will do my best to answer those questions. So peace out, stay true, stay real. Hazard, I'm begging you, please be fit for the World Cup. Okay, it will break my heart if you're not. Thank you.